cutting through the hype with ML.NET. So he's just going to jump straight in. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, but we will get Neha back onto the stream in a few minutes. So I'll let Arafat take on and leave him go with it.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. As Akanksha has already spoken about me, so I won't touch my intro a lot. So it's just that I'm Arafat Tehsin. I work for EY, and I'm a Microsoft MVP for AI. All of these logos you see over there and the blog posts, blog links, and all that stuff, you can always go over there, connect with me. I have got 10 to 12 minutes to present everything about ML.NET. So I'll be very quick. If you think that I've run very, very quick, and if you have got any questions, I'll be around. So we'll be around during the table talk as well, and I'm happy to answer any of the questions. Moving on. So this was just for the intro. Now, as I said, that we'll be discussing about ML.NET, and I'll in 1 minute I'll just explain that why I have chosen this topic. So back in, like, I think 2 months or 3 months back, I was having a discussion with a couple of friends, and they were saying, and we all were from the .NET background, and we were having a discussion that, like, they were telling me that .NET is not for machine learning. There are people who have got some great skills in machine learning, but they are not from the .NET stack. .NET machine learning is just for the Python developers. Machine learning is just for those who have their hands dirty on PyTorch or frameworks like those. So and those developers which I was engaging with, they were junior to mid-level developers. And when I heard them saying, and I asked them this question, that have you ever thought of or have you ever looked for anything like that? And they said, yes, we haven't heard of anything. Whenever data sciences or machine learning comes up, it's only Python which comes into their mind, because they have seen it a lot. So I thought that let's cut through this hype and let's introduce ML.NET. So ML.NET, we'll discuss what is ML.NET, but before we get into this, let's have a discussion on what Microsoft is trying to do. Microsoft is trying to empower everybody with AI toolkits, AI tools, AI capability. So you as a business person or as a developer can empower yourself, upskill yourself, and bring up AI capabilities into your hands. It's not just Microsoft. Other players are doing the same as well, like Google, like Amazon. So they are bringing up their no code or low code tools to empower everyone. So it's a good thing. These competitions, in my opinion, are really healthy. And so speaking from the Microsoft's technology point of view, they have got a bunch of stack. And this stack, I think I've never seen in any of the cloud offering these much of capabilities, from pro code to no code. If you are a fantastic Azure machine learning expert or a machine learning expert and you want to build some sophisticated models, you can always use Azure. And if you want to use something like AI on API, then you can use cognitive services. If you are a Power Platform person, and if you are already in the Power Platform and you want to use AI capabilities, you can use AI Builder. And you can solve, actually, you can really in production, you can solve complex problems of your business using, even without writing a single line of code. So it's not just that, okay, these are just to create some hello world kind of applications. It's not like that. So moving on, our focus is on the ML.NET, as I've told you about the discussion, that what was going on when I had a discussion with them. So it's purely for .NET developers. But if you're not a .NET developer, please stick around, and you will see that why it is not just for .NET developers, rather than, like, it is ML.NET. But let's see. So a little bit of history. ML.NET was there was a library called TLC, the Learning Code, which Microsoft engineers used to use in their own products. So they have incorporated learning code the learning code was used to build machine learning capabilities into the applications like Excel. If you go to recommended charts option on PowerPoint, Excel, and if you go to the design ideas in PowerPoint, Windows Defender, Windows Hello, Bing ads, and all that. So all of these were built using the learning code. In 2018, Microsoft thought of moving it to an open source, cross-platform, .NET friendly, and then they introduced ML.NET. ML.NET is offline first, so that is good. That is the good part. If you have got an IoT application, and if you want to use a model offline without having to connect with the Azure, you can do that within your .NET application, and it is fantastic. So as I told you that if you are a .NET developer, you can easily use C# or F# skills to create these models. You don't need to have a in-depth data science or machine learning stuff. I'm not a data scientist, but I've built some models which are still running in production. So it means that everybody can do that. If you want to remain in .NET ecosystem, you can use this. If you want to consume any of the existing models, you can use this as well. Like from TensorFlow, from OnNX runtime, you can utilize ML.NET for that as well. These are the possibilities which ML.NET can solve. These are the problems. So these are mainly the all of the problems which you face, from regression to forecasting to recommendation to classification. So all of these problems are basically solved using ML.NET. And the question can come up that, oh, do we have any production ready use case for that, or do we have any case study? Yes, if you Google ML.NET case studies or customer stories, you will land on a page. Especially they are using in Australia as well. There are customers who are using in Australia. We have done a global AI podcast on this. You can Google it and listen to the ML.NET team themselves. They have defined some of the use cases, and they have talked about some of the customers in Australia. So now, what tools do you have if you want to use as a developer? So in addition to the code stuff, which is low-level API, you have the ML.NET CLI and model builder as well. So you don't need to have a low-level knowledge of even code. You can use it either just by writing a single command or by GUI, no code, 100% no code. So I'll explain you quickly how machine learning workflow works. So you just prepare your data, build and train with machine, and it exports out for you to consume. The process which is used for training and building is known as machine model creation, and the process which is where you are using that model is model consumption. So it's that simple, but it looks like simple. It's not that simple. So how does it work on the background? Let's say if you want to find out the worth of this car, it means that it is a regression kind of a problem. So in order to find out regression, the price of this car, you need to identify what are the features of this car, what is the algorithm. So let's say if you have found out that these are the features which your car price is dependent upon, and then you choose some algorithm, and then setting up some hyperparameters, and it will give 30% of the result. You never want to use 30%, right? So you will reiterate it again, and you will include some more features, some tweak some hyperparameters, and you will do it again. So you will keep on doing it until you reach the point that it has given you a successful model. But wouldn't it have been better if machine had done it then itself? So in order to cater to the situation, AutoML has come into the play. And with AutoML, you just feed a couple of things, and then it intelligently tests multiple models in parallel, and it exports out the best model for you. So this is the power of AutoML. You don't have to use anything. You don't have to write code. So there are two possibilities to use AutoML. Number one is ML.NET CLI, which you see over here. You don't have to write any code. It's a cross-platform, so it removes the overhead of feature engineering and tweaking of any hyperparameters. The command which you see on the terminal in an animated image is the single command I use to build the sentiment analyzer, which is down there, and it has been downloaded more than 8,500 times. So these numbers are old. In the last, we have got Model Builder, which is a no-code way of creating models. You can, and it is the latest offering, so it's in preview by ML.net, but you can always go look for the ML.net private preview and sign up. You will get it in your Visual Studio. This is how you add the models to this. If you want to find out more about it, how you can do this, by the way, it leverages the Azure ML Studio experiments for resource intensive tasks. So if you have got a slower machine, you don't have to worry about it. It will train all of this stuff in Azure. If you don't want to use in Azure, there are scenarios which you can, of course, train in on your local machine as well. I think that's it from my side. These are the resources which I've talked to you about. And if you want to connect with me, I'm here. If you have got any questions, I'll check out the chat part and definitely answer you over there. Over to you, Akansha.
Thank you so much. And look at you putting that into like a proper lightning talk for 10 minutes. That is very appreciated. I'm trying to keep us on track of the difficulties. But having said that, Arafat will be available for answering any questions if you want to throw them in the chat, or as he mentioned, his socials will be available. If you want to pop those in the chat, Arafat, so people can reach out. And with that, we are going to jump over, and we'll say thank you to Arafat. But we will jump over